Welcome to ZEISS PiWeb Planner. PiWeb Planner is the administrative module used to view, edit, configure, and manage the PiWeb database. You can access inspection plan information such as characteristics, measurements, and measure value attributes. This tool allows you to manage user and group access, schedule jobs for data management, and customize the database configuration. In this video, we will do an overview and general navigation of PiWeb Planner. We will cover how to manage the inspection plan information, how to view and manage measurements and measured value details, and how to configure attributes. After installing PiWeb, to launch PiWeb Planner, go to the ZEISS Quality Suite interface. Under My Applications, find ZEISS PiWeb and select the PiWeb Planner module. Click on Start. Alternatively, you can also start it via the Microsoft Windows Start menu or via a shortcut on your desktop. Upon opening PiWeb Planner, the Start page gives you the option to select a connection to a dataset. You can select from recently used connections, favorite connections, or those found automatically on your network. For this tutorial, we will select the option to access the training data file by clicking on More, Create Database File from QDB File, and select the PiWeb Server Training.qdb. The process will ask you to save the DFS file in the same location. Click on Save. Saving the dataset as a DFS file allows you to modify the information, which is what we will do in this tutorial. The interface will open on the Characteristics tab by default. The data source will show the inspection plans available in your dataset, and you can display the characteristics list using the arrows to expand the view. The data structure of our training dataset is limited to a few inspection plans. The normal structure of a regular database may include additional folders and subfolders based on the user-defined needs. The interface is organized by tabs. You can see them on the left-hand side of the screen. Hide and expand the name to gain additional workspace using the arrow on the bottom left side of the screen. On the Characteristic tab, you can access the characteristic attribute information. Characteristics represents the property of a part to be inspected. Click on the arrows to expand the list of the dataset structure. Then select the part level to display the characteristics of any of these parts. On the right, we have a list of the characteristic attributes organized by columns such as nominal value and tolerances. Clicking on the column header will sort the values alphabetically or numerically. Grabbing a column edge allows you to resize the column, or with the right click, you can auto-size all columns. The right-click menu gives you additional options. For example, you can hide any of these columns. You can view all available characteristic attributes and select those you want to view in PiWeb Planner, or select the option to show columns with content. You can also reorder the columns by dragging them to a new location. This view gives us direct access to the data stored in the database. You can modify or add values to this view and save or discard changes if needed. For example, on my part, I will modify the module value defined as none. I will update it to length for my length characteristics. Click on Save on the bottom right-hand side to commit the changes. The Measurement tab gives you the ability to view and manage measurement attributes. Measurement attributes include information about the part and the measurement process, like date and time and gauge equipment. By default, the measurements are listed by time and date and display the last 10 measurements of the selected part. This table has similar viewing tools as the characteristics table. Clicking on the column header will organize the values alphabetically, and right-clicking will give you the menu to manage the view of the columns. You can edit or modify values if needed. To copy the value in multiple records, you can drag the bottom left corner of the field. To commit the changes, click on Save, located on the bottom right side, or discard the changes by clicking on this button. On the left, I have several viewing options to select the measurements displayed on the list. Similar to PiWeb Monitor, you can select a specific number of recent measurements, select by date and time, or by measurement attribute. You can also select measurements by direct selection, where you hand-pick the list of records displayed. For example, we will display the last 200 records. My list is updated as soon as I make the selection. Even though I am looking for 200 records, my database has only 40. We can filter further using the predefined filters. In this case, I can select a specific order number. If you have other attributes you'd like to have in this list, you can modify the options by going to Tools in the main menu, Settings. Select Measurement Search. Here you can add or remove options to fit your needs better. We will add operator to the list, and it is now available as a predefined filter moving forward. You can access the measurement values by selecting the records of interest and clicking on the measured value icon on the toolbar on the top. Otherwise, for a single record, you can double-click it to display the measured values. Another way to organize the view is by using groups. Click on the option Add Group on the top left, and select an attribute to group the data. We will select Order Number. You can also add a tier to the group and select another attribute. Let's use Operator. With the new group options in place, right-click on the group header to collapse all groups and focus on a specific selection or area of interest. I can access measurement values by right-clicking on the header of the group and by selecting Measured Values. In this table view, the measurement values are organized and grouped by date and time. Expanding the measurement record again, we can view actual values from all characteristics measured. You can change the grouping view by clicking on the toolbar option, then select Group by Characteristic. You can view all the actual values specific to one characteristic. On the left side of each characteristic, you have a column showing the status based on tolerance usage. In this table view, you can also display the characteristic and measurement attributes if needed. Clicking on the header of any column gives you access to the same options you have in other views to manage columns. Let's close the measurement values window. Back on the measurement table, the main menu offers other great options. I'm going to show you two of them. First off, you can easily display statistics for each measurement record by clicking on the bar chart icon. With the icon beside it, you have multiple options to export the records listed below. We often use this method to create a backup of the part or parts in question, for example. Otherwise, by right-clicking on the group name, we get the option to export the records as CSV, XML, or QDB. You can ungroup the records clicking on the X next to the group name. In PiWeb Planner, you can customize the default configuration by modifying existing attributes or adding new ones. To do that, we will open the Configuration tab on the left. If the sidebar is collapsed, you can view the detail by clicking on the arrow icon on the bottom left corner. The attributes in the Configuration tab are organized in four main groups: Part, Characteristic, Measurement, and Measured Value. Here you can modify an existing attribute or add new ones. For example, you can change the description of Part 1 Dent to Part ID. To commit the changes, click on Save on the bottom left side of the screen. Now you may have noticed that I skipped the group catalogs. If you want to find out more about these special kinds of attributes, Check out the PiWeb Basic Training. To add a new attribute, click on the green plus icon and select the appropriate key field value. We will add a new measurement attribute in this case. We will use a key value range similar to the higher numbers in the list of the default configuration. The key field values in black are available. On the other hand, if they show red, it means they are used for a different attribute. We will use key field 1806 for your example. Select the type of attribute, in this case measurement. Type the description of the attribute we will use, user field 6. And the data type, you can keep character string for this example. Finally, click on Create to add it to the list. To save the change, click on Save at the bottom right corner. You can now use the newly created attribute to enter information. To do that, open the measurement section. Right-click the table header and add the attribute user field 6. You can reposition the columns with drag and drop if you want, and you're ready to enter data. To finalize our PiWeb Planner overview, you can view additional server information by going to Tools and clicking on Information. You have access to the server status, version, database size, and other statistics. I would like to show what it looks like with a server connection. I'll change my connection to a server using the connection icon. Now I can click on the Tools, Information, and view the details of my server on the web browser. For further information and to learn other functionalities in PiWeb Planner, refer to the full PiWeb manual. To access the PiWeb manual, go to the Help menu and select Open PDF Manual. That's it for this brief introduction to PiWeb Planner. We explored the software interface and learned how to use the search functionality for characteristics, measurements, and measured values. We learned how to customize the measurement selection and how to add new attributes through the configuration. In the next video, I will show you how to configure a manual entry report using PiWeb Planner and PiWeb Designer. You will learn the general workflow and steps to start creating your own report. To book a more comprehensive training, check the PiWeb Basic e-learning. You will find the link in the description.